those of you that have been around evangelism for a while, you're probably aware of the Engel scale of kind of a journey for which people go. So 1998, my church pitched a tent on the cricket green in Mitcham, a few miles from here, and we preached the gospel. And over the course of the next 5 or 6 years, we did lots of really big events. And one of the things we noticed is that we were seeing lots of people come in and lots of people making decisions for Christ, and then we lost them. But the people that we kept and we were discipled and saw baptized were people that we already knew to start with. And then when I started talking to other churches, I realized that this was a fairly common thing of actually the people that we have relationships with, we are most likely to be able to help on the discipleship journey. So as I kind of sort of developed this, I realized that the two critical factors in discipling somebody who has no knowledge of Jesus whatsoever is their relationship with other Christians and their knowledge and attitude and relationship with Christ. So I have produced this outstandingly obvious diagram here. So the north-south, the up and down vertical thing is the kind of a proper Engel scale type thing. So -7 at the bottom, we have, anti-theist, atheist, and then you sort of move your way up. To 0 is when you become a Christian, and then you kind of move upwards. And then left to right, the horizontal axis, we have people's relationship networks with other Christians. So over here on -7, we have, and this is a frightening number of people in the UK, people that do not know a single active practicing Christian. And then you kind of move forward to people that know a few Christians, to then sort of people on the edge of church. And again, when you cross the line, that's the point where they would become a regular attender of a local fellowship, whatever that means in your context. And then again, you move them all the way across to the other end where you have super saint. So these are just 4 possible examples of where they are. What's interesting to note is this top left-hand corner is the people who are have had a relationship with Jesus, but are no longer connected to the local church. These guys need some careful pastoral work to bring them back. Top right-hand corner, that's where we traditionally think of all the discipleship models, the sort of stuff that Pete's been brilliantly explaining. But we tend to only think about it in that corner. This bottom corner down here, we have those people who are regularly around churches, but still don't know Jesus yet. I'm sure you've all been in a few fellowships where you wonder whether I'll stop there. And then this bottom corner, this is where the real work of preaching the gospel and seeing people come to know is. This is the people that don't know Jesus yet and aren't really connected. And my observation is that as churches, a lot of time, we spend a lot of time focusing on that top right-hand corner and not enough focusing on this bottom corner. So if you just jump to the next slide for me a second, please, guys. This is just possible things of what those different marks would be. Change them on your own context. You know, I'm Pentecostal, so I'm going to have baptism on the Spirit in there. If you're Anglican, you'll probably have, dedication, and you'll probably have confirmation. That's the word that's escaping me. But let's move to the next slide, please. A very simple exercise. Next slide, please, guys. Thank you very much. Very simple exercise I suggest you do. Take a list of everybody that's vaguely connected to your church and then jot them somewhere on your little diagram. And then sit down and work out what do you do that actively engages them and moves them up and to the right. So it might be an alpha course, which is the kind of the 1, your 2 at the top right-hand corner is sort of your leadership training. Your coffee mornings, your fun days are stuff in the bottom corner. What do you actually do that moves people up? And then if you want to be really brave, figure out what goes on in your church that drives people away, and then you draw your snakes on. And then you work out what you do next to be able to avoid a too big a jump for people moving up. Because sometimes we do lots of really helpful stuff in this quarter, but people have no idea how to move up and into the life of the church. So it's a really helpful little diagram to just help you think about the process.